no complaints. And I had federal judges, I had politicians bought the program, said it was great, but the FTC was mandated to shut me up.
By the way, Kevin, I bought your system when I was in like junior high or high school, and I already had a great memory, certainly improved what I was doing. It's a free country. I'm allowed to buy your product, even if it's crap, which, by the way, it's not. That's why you're so successful, is because you do sell a lot of great stuff. That's my right. And now they're even going after Cheerios, saying it'll lower your cholesterol, a diet rich in this. I mean, this is really a tyranny.
It really is suppression of the free flow of information, because if people bought, let's say, my program, Mega Memory, they sued Sean Shanahan, was hooked on phonics, and bankrupted the guy. Luckily, I had the funding to fight back. Now, my companies over the last few years have done around $3 billion in sales. So I've been very lucky to have the financial backing to say, no, you're not going to win. Now, we'll talk about the fact that I just got fined $37 million, which I'm fighting in the appeals court. Luckily, that didn't break me. It's not going to change my lifestyle, but I am, of course, fighting that in the appeals court. The bottom line is the federal government wants to suppress the free flow of information, and they do it by intimidation and scaring people to keep them quiet. They don't want people to know the truth about natural cures. They don't want them to know the truth about the dangers of psychotic drugs. They don't want them to know the truth about what's happening with the money supply. They don't want them to know the truth about the fact that the food supply in America is so depleted of nutritional value. I'll tell people, I'm in Europe right now. I know what an apple tastes like. I know what a cucumber tastes like. I know what a carrot tastes like. If you're living in America, you don't know what those things taste like anymore, because the depletion of the soil in the U.S. is beyond comprehension. You'd have to eat, Dr. Emmanuel Shiraskin said this 15 years ago. He said you'd have to eat 5 times as much food to get the same nutritional value than your grandparents did just 20 or 30 years ago.
Kevin Trudeau, I was just talking to the head of a farm and ranch organization last hour. The feds are openly saying they're going to shut down most of the family farms and ranches. And the big agribusiness, they're exempt from all this. They wrote it. And, how dare you or somebody else put out a book or a video exposing them? I guess the feds will just sue you now. We were talking during the break. Can you specifically tell the listeners what you told me, that in this court case they're saying, and now in other court cases, that there is no First Amendment and that they're trying to set the precedent to literally fine or arrest people they don't like?
Right. For 35 years, the Federal Trade Commission had a doctrine called the mirror image doctrine. And what it said is any person can write a book about anything, and that person can then talk about it and express their opinions. And if they do that, the Federal Trade Commission won't go after them for false and misleading advertising. Because of my book, my most recent book was called The Weight Loss Cure They Don't Want You to Know About, where I exposed a cure for obesity that was discovered in 1959 by Dr. Simeons, a British MD, and it has been suppressed all these years. And I wrote the book, sold millions of copies, hundreds of thousands of Americans did the program, found it to be easy, and virtually a cure for obesity. You lose the weight and it never comes back, because Simeons found the cause of obesity. Well, when I wrote this book, I said in the book that the Federal Trade Commission and the FDA is designed to protect the profits of the major corporations. They're protecting lap band surgery, gastric bypass surgery, and this most horrible drug called Ally, which is just you have to wear diapers if you take it because you crap your pants. And if you take it, you'll lose 4 pounds every 6 months. It doesn't even do anything for weight loss, but the drug companies are making billions. When I wrote this book, it was so popular that the drug companies forced the FTC to sue me, and the FTC said, we are canceling our mirror image doctrine. We now are saying that it's our legal right as a federal agency to attack authors if we don't like what they write in their books. And authors who say their opinions can be sued by the government. So they sued me, stating that my opinions in my book were wrong. They didn't like my book.
Well, take Irwin Schiff. Irwin Schiff wrote a book saying the IRS is a fraud, a collection agency for the private Federal Reserve, which is true. But regardless if it was a lie, he still has a right to write it. The judge told him, don't issue that book anymore, don't print anymore. He did. They arrested him, tried him. He's in prison for the book, and you know, they're telling the makers of the Hillary movie they're not allowed to put that out. They've, as I said earlier, they've introduced bills to restrict free speech. I mean, they are really scared of what people are saying and doing right now, or they wouldn't be moving like this against the First Amendment. I think they've bitten off more than they can chew. I think this is going to blow up in their face. You know, the new Freedom Initiative's internal documents came out in 2006, as I'm sure you know, saying the plan by the FDA and the schools is to get half the kids on Ritalin and Prozac classes of drugs, up from 15%, and that it is all just a business operation. They were given campaign money to do it. Now, that was released by one of the board members, made the news, not big news. There is the evidence of criminal activity. It's okay to push deadly drugs on kids, but you don't dare tell them that Cheerios might be good for them.
Correct. And the point that people listening need to understand is that the federal government, specifically agencies like the Federal Trade Commission and the Food and Drug Administration, these agencies are not protecting the United States citizens. These agencies are protecting the profits of the corporations that donate the most money to the political campaigns. That's the fact. And here's a perfect example about this. The FTC, the Federal Trade Commission, routinely sues companies for false and misleading advertising. If you look at the last 5 years, they've sued small independent companies, and they always have the same MO. They go into court, they never call the company in advance. They rush into court secretly and demand that the judge freeze all personal and corporate assets of the company, which the judge grants 99% of the time.
So now they don't have money to defend themselves.
Bankrupting the company, okay? That's number one. Now, when they did that to me, I was the first person where the judge didn't freeze the assets. And even if they did, corporate and personal, they could only freeze U.S. assets. And because they have companies in 60 countries around the around the world, we had a defense team lined up from all over the globe to handle the case. But the FTC and the FDA has never sued a drug company for false and misleading advertising. They don't sue them, even though the FDA itself has said repeatedly that advertising for drugs is blatantly false and misleading because it makes people believe the drugs are more effective than they are and safer than they are.
Oh, Kevin, hold on. Stay there. We got a break. Yeah, they have drug ads where they don't even say what the drug does. It just says, ask your doctor. And then you find out the drug makes you have a heart attack and die, and the crazy zombies run out and buy it. But Kevin Trudeau, he's bad, saying take vitamins. Oh, he's so evil. Got to stop him.
Millions of Americans are beginning to realize the enormity of the economic and political problems facing the U.S. and the world. And for the first time in their lives, they are feeling the need for preparedness. Ready Reserve Foods has been in continuous operation, manufacturing the finest and dehydrated foods for almost 40 years. Ready Reserve is the manufacturer. Unlike other companies that just broker canned foods, Ready Reserve controls the quality from start to finish with double enameled cans and nitrogen packaging. When purchasing from Ready Reserve Foods, you are buying factory direct at wholesale prices. Other companies are quoting delivery times of 1 to 2 months, while Ready Reserve ships within 5 business days. Many companies do not even offer a catalog. We will be more than happy to send a catalog to you free of charge. Dial 1-800-453-2202, 1-800-453-2202, or visit our website at ReadyReserveFoods.com. Factory direct, wholesale pricing from Ready Reserve Foods. Call us at 1-800-453-2202.
Are you tired of losing your hard-earned savings in retirement? Does the continued loss of purchasing power through the hidden tax of inflation brought on by trillions of dollars in government bailouts bother you? Then please let me, Dwayne Daly with Midas Resources, help you to protect what you have left. Call me at 800-686-2237 extension 115, and I will explain to you how to retain your wealth and purchasing power now and in the future with gold and silver. Gold and silver have been a form of currency for 6,000 years compared to our present fiat currency, which has only been in existence for 38 years and failing fast. Call me, Dwayne Daly, at 800-686-2237, extension 115, to start your protection of wealth today. I will custom fit the protection package to your personal needs. No amount is too small, so start today. Call Dwayne Daly with Midas Resources at 800-686-2237, extension 115, for your gold and silver protection portfolio.
In the New World Order's war against humanity, Barack Obama is the tip of the spear.
We've got to give them a stake in creating the kind of world order